Hey everyone, this is Johnnyonoes, and I'm playing Subnautica, the Infected update, and in this Let's Learn episode, I'm going to show you how to explore the Aurora with this new update of the game. Let's start off by looking at all the equipment you're going to want to bring with you so that you can explore the Aurora in one shot. First thing you want to bring with you is a scanner. That way you can scan all the things that you can find in the Aurora. This includes some aesthetic items, the prawn suit, the sea moth fragments. You have the laser cutter, which is going to allow you to get into the prawn suit room. You want to bring the repair tool. There's lots of stuff to repair, including the generator, which will remove all the radiation effect around the Aurora. And an optional item to bring along with you is the propulsion cannon. This allows you to pick one or the other entrance to get into the Aurora. You're obviously going to need your radiation suit, because if you haven't fixed the generator, there's going to be a lot of radiation around the Aurora. Brings a couple of O2 tanks, because there's a little bit of underwater swimming that needs to happen. And for the trip, go ahead and bring yourself some water and a nutrient block. Now, the other suggestion I would make here is make sure that your inventory is as open as possible. Normally, I'll bring like a Sea Glide, but that thing takes up a ton of inventory space. Bring a lot of open inventory space, because there's a lot to pick up over there. The other piece of equipment that I would suggest is make sure that you've got the sea moth all built and ready to go before you head on over there. Alright, let's head on over. The direction you're going to want to try to aim for is around the front of the Aurora. There used to be an entrance on the left-hand side here, but they've removed that since the prawn update. So keep heading to the front, and just be very wary of any reapers that may spawn on your way over there. Once you get around the left-hand side here, there's a possibility of a reaper spawning. Let's see if we run into it. But what you want to aim for is kind of the grating or the metal pieces that are exposed here. There's a little area for you to be able to drive through. So just go ahead and put yourself right inside there, and you'll be right on the front-hand side of the Aurora. Now, there are two entrances for the Aurora. I'm going to go through the entrance if you don't happen to have the propulsion cannon, and at the very end I'll show the second entrance. But what you can see here, let me see if I can stay above water. No, that's not going to happen. Let's see if it's easier. There we go. There we go. Oh, this is much better. All right, so when you're kind of in this front-hand area of the Aurora, you can see kind of two ramps. There's one to the right, and if you look real closely, you can see an entrance right there. That is the alternate entrance if you happen to have the propulsion cannon. You can use a propulsion cannon to move some boxes and desks that are in the way of that entrance. And then there's a second ramp, which is the one that we're going to go into to get into the Aurora here. So swim on over, and you can actually take the sea moth right over to the ramp. You can actually see a lot better from underwater here. So you can see the ramp on the left, and then the ramp on the right here. So drive on over to the left-hand side here. Don't beach the sea moth. Just put it where you're kind of floating above the ramp. Look out for those little spider guys. You don't do a lot of damage. You can actually take more damage from walking in the fire than you can from these little spider guys. You can scan them if you're so inclined. But what you want to look for is you want to start looking for little boxes that appear. They're going to basically be your breadcrumbs to be able to go in the right direction. There's one right there. Normally I see a bunch of them here, but I guess in this seed, not a lot of them spawn. So just keep making your way up the ramp, and you should be able to start seeing these little boxes littered about. Yeah, there's one. So just keep following these boxes, opening them, open them and get all the good stuff that you can get from there. You know, lots of power cells, lots of batteries, food and water. It's so funny, like you can actually get enough food and water from the Aurora so that it will last you until you get to the point where you can make your own food and water. So in my last playthrough, I had so much food and water from here that I didn't even have to worry about it until I was at the point where I had the alien containment as well as the water filtration system and all that good stuff. So here's where it gets a little bit tricky. Let's go ahead and make it daytime here so it's easier to see. There we go. So what you want to look for at the top of this ramp is this black kind of catwalk area here. Normally it will have a container on top of it. The batteries seem to move to the sides, so make sure to look on the sides of each container just to see if there's a battery there. What I've found is that a lot of people that do not see this catwalk are trying to run the game at an earlier version. So make sure to start the game at its current version. Like if you started the game in the prawn update or even before that, you're not going to be able to see everything here. So make sure to start a map on the current version. That way you don't run into a lot of the issues that I've seen on comments. So I'm going to stop opening up containers. Let's make our way over there. You can sprint now, so hold down shift to go a little bit faster. Now you can start to see this entrance here. Make sure to pick up a fire extinguisher. You might have the fire extinguisher from the pod when you first started the game. Run on inside, and if you've played the earlier versions of Subnautica, you probably are familiar with this kind of T-junction. Now, on the left-hand side, there's a PDA that you can pick up for information regarding the happenstances of the crew and what's going on. You can read that at your leisure. And there's also a propulsion cannon fragment here that you can scan if you don't happen to have a propulsion cannon already. Let's go ahead and make our way to the right-hand side first. Let's go ahead and put a little bit of fire out. Come on, Johnny. There you go. Make sure to see the steam and make sure that all the red stuff is gone, because the fire can come back a little bit if you don't completely put it out. What you're going to do is you're going to collect 2 PDAs, or 2 pieces of information. There's a PDA on the right-hand side. There's also a cool poster you can pick up, too. Go ahead and click on the data terminal. One of these pieces of information are going to give you what you need to get into the docking area. So you want to go to Codes, Essential Life Things, and check out this cargo bay code here, 1454. So remember that. There's also a lot of stuff to scan. I'm not going to scan it for, brevity's sake of the video, but look around. You'll find some cool stuff to scan and be able to put in your base. Now, for this first platform jump, you're going to have to sprint. So sprint, jump, and you'll make it on top of the box here. Sprint again, and jump, and you'll make it over the top there. No need for the propulsion cannon or anything like that. Just skip on over. Run over to the door here and put that code that you found. That was 1454. And the door will open up. This will bring you into the cargo bay. Now, the cargo bay has a couple containers. But the most important thing to find here is a... Oh, and remember, there's fall damage now. I always forget that. Alright, so what we're going to want to look for in here is, including these containers with more food and water, batteries, and power cells and all that stuff, is a Cyclops engine fragment. You can find them in these large boxes. Now, I'm probably going to be unlucky with this and not be able to... Oh, there we go. I was lucky. There we go. There you go. You can get your first Cyclops engine fragment right here. Alright, let's make our way down. Get this little elevator lift thingy. Just go around the side of it, be able to get into the water. Now, a lot of people have told me that they can't get back up, and it's pretty easy to get back up. You just go the way you came. Just go up this pipe, jump a little bit, and you'll be able to go back up. But, yeah. Alright, now you're going to get to this 3-way junction here. On your left is going to be the prawn suit room. Forward is going to be the drive room where you can repair the generator. And on the right is the Seamoth Bay. Let's go ahead and repair the generator real quick. I'll skip through most of this, because this is just me using a welder. But make sure to go ahead and... Oh, got a biter. Got a biter. Get off. Alright. Go ahead and put the fire out here. You can put like 2 of them out here and then jump on the pipe. That's what I tend to do. I've died here once while playing hardcore, so I'm a little bit wary. But here's the drive room. You can get the Cyclops power compensation, I think a power efficiency module here. Make sure to pick that up. That's very important. And then proceed along to repair all of these little holes that you find. There's going to be about 10 of them. Go ahead and repair them. Look out for those biters that are under the water there. And yeah, just go ahead and repair all of it. And that way, in like a couple days, all the radiation will be gone from the Aurora. So, not going to do that now. Let's go ahead and go back to that junction room. And we're going to head on over to the Seamoth room. Right. A little bit of a... There we go. First aid kit. There you go. There we go. Alright, let's keep on moving back to the junction room. So as you can see, we went straight. You go left, you'll go and head on over to the good old Seamoth room. Now, if you don't have the Seamoth already, you get 2 fragments for the Seamoth in here every time. There's one at the bottom here, and there's one kind of hanging above. So if you don't have these, if you don't have the Seamoth yet, and you came in here with the Seagull Eye, this is a great way to just pick up 2 Seamoth fragments. Also, make sure to pick up the pressure compensator here. That way you can start your trekking around in the Seamoth, being able to go down to 300 depth. Very important piece of equipment to pick up. All right, we're back at the junction. Go ahead and hit left, and go ahead and whip out your laser cutter. You're going to need that to get rid of this door here. Always look out for any any little biters that may appear. And go ahead and laser cut this door. Alright, now that the door is open, you're going to go into this kind of locker room area. Keep an eye out for any PDAs, any health kits, all the good stuff. The PDAs are pretty easy to find because they let off all this light here. So if you see like a bunch of light that you're not creating yourself, either through like a flashlight or the Sea Glide, make sure to pick up those PDAs. It's got some information in there, and some of them have some important information, including a code into another room. Let's see if we already got it. There we go. Sweet offer. This gives us another code, 1869, but we'll deal with that later. Let's keep on moving over to the exosuit room. Now, I've heard a lot of people comment on the fact that you can't find all of the prawn suit fragments in here, but there are 4 suits. They just happen to be kind of tough to scan. Some of them have weird hitboxes for, you know, be able to scan these things. This one's pretty easy. And this one, let's see. Yeah, you gotta have to hit it on the left-hand side. You can put out the fire and jump right on top of it if you want. Now, the one that I have the most trouble with, this one's pretty easy. This is the one that I have the most problem with, and the way I found the hitbox for it is right on the right knee. So make sure to point at the right knee, and you'll have all 4 fragments for the prawn suit, and that way you'll unlock the blueprint. There's also a storage module right here too. If you want to pick that up, if I can pick that up, come on. Oh my god. There you go. Come on. There we go. Storage module. You can either put that in the Seamoth or the exosuit, but I've heard some issues about using the storage module for the Seamoth. There's like a memory leak or something like that. So be careful about how you use the storage module. All right. So here's our second platforming little thing. Just go ahead and sprint, jump on the top of these boxes, and head on into the back here. Now this area has a ton of stuff to scan, as well as well, I've never seen containers in this room. That's interesting. Yeah, there's lots of food and water in here. Make sure to pick up all the things. Pick them all up, because you're going to need these for later. Alright, now that we looted the grub room, let's go ahead and head on over to kind of like the rest area. Put a little bit of fire out. There's tons of stuff to scan in here. You got a bar table, you got a chair, you got a vending machine, you got a lab counter, you got a single wall shelf. Tons of stuff. Trash can. Actually, the trash can's actually really useful now because you can throw things away in it and they'll disappear. With the exception of any depleted rods that you have from your nuclear power plant, which I think is funny. There's also a keep calm, Johnny poster here, as well as a PDA. You have an extra fire extinguisher too. So let's head back into the hallway and keep proceeding along here. Always pick up all the stuff from the containers. Now, this hallway is kind of like a T as well, where the desk here is kind of the top of the T to go back to the exosuit room. We're going to go ahead and hit left. And given that code that we got, 1869, I'm going to throw that in here. And be able to get into this room, which will give us a cool baseball cap. Another bed to scan. Another PDA with some information in it. As well as some more food and water. Now, I like these bags, but I never tend to use them. So if you really want to use these bags, they act as storage containers. So in the early game, it's kind of a nice thing to pick up if you need some extra storage, but I tend to ignore them. It's up to you. Then you have the Gorge toy. Gotta pick that up. Special little item you can use to decorate your place. And there's all sorts of little bedrooms to scan beds, benches, all sorts of things, as well as another set of bags, if you want to pick it up, as well as another prawn poster, if you're so inclined. Now, this room right here is the captain's quarters. And there is no code for this just yet, but if you do a little cheat sheet, hit F3, hit enter, and then say unlock doors. Actually, you know what? Let's go ahead and wait till later, because there's other doors that we want to open up and unlock. So we'll come back to this. If you hit unlock doors in the cheat, you'll unlock all the doors to Aurora. But there's some stuff that I want to show you guys that you have to find the codes for. But keep on looking for PDAs. A lot of the PDAs in this area are kind of just aesthetic. There's like, you know, arguments between husband and wife and all sorts of stuff. So they're not super important. But yeah, if you're interested in hearing the story of what's going on in Subnautica, then yeah, you can go ahead and read them up. batteries, all the things. Getting burned to death. It's always good. And keep on going along and scanning and picking up all the things that you need to pick up. Alright, so we're now back in the prawn suit bay here. After scanning everything, picking up all sorts of PDAs. Now we're going to kind of go into the cross-section between this entrance and the second entrance. Let's make it daytime again, make it look nice so you can see. What you're going to do is you're going to jump in the water here. It's kind of like the secondary entrance. Jump in the water, and then look to your right. You'll eventually find this little area that you can swim in. Yeah, there we go. This area is a lot easier with the Sea Glide. Keep heading in this direction until you see the wall. Then turn left. And then you're going to see this little piping section here. And then you'll find a whole brand new area if you happen to not use the propulsion cannon to get in. There's a good deal of information here, including this automated message that you get with this. And it kind of gives you a clue into the end game of Subnautica, where it's basically telling you that no one's going to rescue your ass. You're going to have to go and build your own rocket to get off this planet. Anyways, let's go ahead and laser this door down. Alright, that door is lasered. Alright, and here's another locked room, but you don't have the PDA for it just yet. Let's go ahead and look for the PDA that's over here. There's one hidden amongst the rubble right there. There we go. And that is going to give you your third code, which is 6483. Let's get a little bit of air here first before we head in. 6483. Got some air. And we're going to throw the code 60... Oh, God. Come on, Johnny. Alright, 6483. Oh. 6483. There we go. And this is going to open up into kind of a lab area. Allows you to pick up some lab containers if you want to make a little lab room in your base. But the most important piece is this terminal over here, which is going to give you the blueprint for the repulsion cannon. I never used the repulsion cannon, so this is not that big of a deal for me, but if you like using the repulsion cannon, there it is. Alright, so now that we've done we've done all of the unlockable rooms now. Every other room is either unfinished or doesn't have a code, like the captain's quarters. So at this point, we now have the ability to see where you get in if you were to come in with the other entrance. And you have the propulsion cannon. So this entrance is great because it takes you right to the exosuit room or the prawn suit room. So it's always good to go here if it's like your second trip. Like let's say you forgot your laser cutter on your first trip and you didn't have a propulsion cannon, but now that you have a propulsion cannon, you can go ahead and move all this junk out of the way. I tend to use this entrance as kind of my way to get out of the Aurora. I don't like having to go through the whole front area. But yeah, if you move all this stuff out of the way with a propulsion cannon, you'll be right outside the front on the ramp that you were at when you first got here. Alright, and the last little bit, I'm going to show you the captain's quarters, and then we'll be done. Alright, we're back at the top of the prawn suit, kind of the catwalk area, so let's run on in. We're going to hit the end of the T here, and we're going to turn left. Head on over to the captain's quarters. So the captain's quarters does not have a code in it just yet. I've done all the searching, look at all the code, and no, I didn't look at any of the code, I just Googled. But there's no code for this. So if you put unlock doors, this will give you a cheat to allow you to open this door and get at the cool little thing that you can find here. There's two PDAs. This one's blank, and this one gives you kind of a... I think this one gives you kind of a listed readout of what you heard from the automated message down below, which is nice because it's like you're doing all sorts of things and this thing is talking to you, but this is nice that it gives you kind of the transcribed version of it. It's all in text. But this is the only reason why I cheat for this is to get the Starship souvenir. Alright, folks, that is all the Aurora in the current version of the Infected update. If you have any questions at all about Subnautica or any of the other games that I support, please go ahead and leave your questions in the comment section below. Thanks so much for watching, and see y'all in the next episode. Thanks so much.